Is Raymond Arturo Perez. Y'all have hopefully seen one of these lives come down your feed, and hopefully you've stopped to listen to one of them for just a little bit. If you haven't, I've been going on live these past few days. Some might say a couple, some might say it's been exactly 8. And today, I'm really digging this whole midnight confession situation, but I'm just giving advice from my career journey. So I'm kind of going to go with the flow. Today's day 9. I'm scheduled to talk about how AI has affected the film and television industry by what I've heard and what I've seen, and how it's affected folks in my circle. I think the first way that it affected folks was, from what I've heard, was at management and agencies. As people were getting let go during the writer's strike, less clients to take care of, less desks to have assistants. When it came time to have assistants again, I think from what I've heard, AI was a substitute for assistants, which is a choice. AI was also a substitute for coverage, which is a big part of assistants in the film and television industry. Was assistants usually had to read scripts or pieces of literature, any sort of submission that could be potentially IP to create a film or TV show, and provide script coverage. So if you don't know what script coverage is, it's usually a document that covers a script or piece of literature, which includes a summary, commentary, some sort of feedback, being critical. Is there a story here? Is it commercial? Is it viable to adapt? Is the script good? Does this have legs, essentially? And then the top part of the first sheet usually has, all the details of this submission. An assistant will read this, fill all that out, give their summary of what they read, give a summary synopsis, and then they'll give the kind of their commentary, their critique of it, and then they'll either recommend with considerations, or pass. And sometimes there'll even be a section where you recommend with considerations, pass on the script or piece of literature, and or recommend with considerations, or pass on the writer of that piece of literature. And so that's been a crucial element to a lot of desk jobs, assistant jobs, both at the management and talent agencies, as well as management and agencies, as well as production companies, studios, networks. It's just a part of the machine. From what I've heard, AI has been a substitute in reading scripts and providing synopsis, and then assistants are done just reading and fixing what the AI did, or corroborating what the AI did. I've heard, though now there's been some shifts because of agreements with the Writers Guild, pieces that were found by AI that then get incorporated into the fold of ideas for producers that then have to get fleshed out by writers. So on and so forth. So it's already been incorporated into the industry, and it is what it is. I personally think using creatives to fix AI, there's a better use of AI, find out cures for cancer. I don't know. But we'll go from there. So, other ways that it's happened. There are filmmakers and artists that are using AI to, from scratch, make films. AI is being used to edit special effects, as y'all have seen through social media, Photoshop, image shift, pornography, all of it's kind of been touched by AI. Verticals have become a new thing. I mentioned verticals too because there are some verticals that are still being produced very haphazardly by real humans, and then there are other verticals that are being done AI, and then there's some that are like a mishmash. There are production companies that are exclusively doing AI films now. Some of those films have been teased, like teaser trailers. From what I understand, the ability to maintain facial recognition, like to keep the character consistent in its appearance, is still relatively hard, as well as the off-scene, like missing fingers and limbs and whatnot, is still a problem. As far as AI creating story, AI still isn't really creating stories with depth. A lot of folks are using AI for emails. That seems to be okay. I'll say this, though. There's a conversation to be had off the record about organizations and companies that consider themselves art incorporating AI into their machinations, into their systems. I think that's a choice. That's my train of thought. But I will say, maybe the AI could have helped. I'm just kidding. No, but what I was going to say is... I was talking to someone at one of the larger, more established tabloid AI companies. A spokesperson, if you will. And I was telling them, as a writer, seeing folks incorporate AI to their everyday, even though they were doing it beforehand, for better or for worse, they had their own style, they had their own choices, they had their own way of speaking, typing, writing, emailing, etc. I am looking to see, for the folks that do use AI, what are the patterns that I'm seeing? A dash being used, things being made so concise, a pithiness, a wittiness that feels so now to me AI. And a colleague of mine, someone on my board for Texas Exes, was applying for a job at a pretty large company, and they asked me for a letter of recommendation. And I was like, oh, I've never used AI. Letter of rec, those can be so... Whew. This might be the time, I insert their resume, put it into the thing, tell it to write me a letter of recommendation, maybe share a couple anecdotes, done. And I was like, wait. As I've already started to adapt my own writing styles in everything I do, from a simple email to a text message to definitely script and dialogue. I want to be intentional. I want to be human. And I still want to be effective. And I'm a storyteller. And so I was like, this is a unique opportunity to write a letter of recommendation wrong with intention, so that they know when they open this email and this letter of recommendation, they know a human wrote it. And so that's what I did. I wrote a letter of recommendation talking about how I viewed my fellow board director, my board member, why I think their contributions were essential or instrumental to our success, and particularly went on a long anecdote that took up most of the letter. And I sent it. It was a long letter of recommendation, not super long, but longer than it should be. I rambled on purpose. still tied it to the mission. I want to make sure that this is a recommendation for the work, the personality, the kind of collaboration this person shows based on my experiences with them. And the hiring person said that was one of the best letters of recommendation they've ever read. I don't say that because I am a great writer, though I am. And you should totally hire me. I say that because we, little by little, in everyone's own journey, are going to get accustomed to AI. What AI sounds like, what AI gives, even as it evolves and we change its energy and da-da-da this, da-da-da that. It makes me value not imperfections, but moments where folks break the rules, moments where people remind us of humanity, moments where people, I go, well, a human wrote that. And I might not always be able to pinpoint that, and there may be a time where I won't be able to pinpoint it at all. I won't know if that was a human or not. But in this time I can. And I really value that. And so as much as AI is being incorporated into many places that I do believe are not necessary, I'm excited to find the spots where I can make sure that I let folks know, no AI was involved. And not just because I put it on the front of this film, but because we're going to hold on this character staring at a wall for 2 minutes. Maybe not that, but you get my drift. And that would be something that would get edited out. That would be something that the AI would be like, we got to keep going. That would be something that a suit at a studio might be like, that's not worth it. We're going to lose their attention. And it's like, no. Actually, the performance that this actor is giving and the significance of this moment and the concert is absolutely necessary. And I think those are the films and the moments that we're going to really grasp onto and we're going to champion over these next few years. So as agencies considered for a second repping AI actors, I am reinvigorated by how real artists react and have their art reflect humanity.